this time to actually answer a lot of questions I've gotten on my move and just a few random ones in general that have been coming up a lot lately that have somehow managed to come back into my periphery. So let's get into it. First question, where in Florida do you live? Guys, privacy is a privilege. So I live in South Florida. And that's all you're gonna know. Are you living alone? Yes, I am living alone. I've lived alone for 2 years now, a year now. This is gonna be my second year now. And before that I had roommates when I was living in Miami as well as in New York. But this is, I would say this is probably like my first big girl apartment in terms of it's bigger, it's a lot more in expenses, but it's just everything I need. What made you choose Florida? So like I said in my last video, I was really only looking at Florida for a seasonal stay. I wanted to get out of New England for the winter, but I was also looking for a new home base, something that was a bit more aligned with my lifestyle. And I didn't want to come back to Florida, but I found this apartment that I'm in, which if you're hearing the echo, it's because I have zero furniture right now. Zero furniture right now, besides my books and a couple rugs from home. I just said F it, and here we are, and I love it so far. Still getting acclimated, but I love it. Why do you move so much? This is a great question. And it's funny because my niece recently asked me it as well, and she's 6, 7. Life is too short and the world is a lot bigger than we think. I move a lot because I love to travel and because I'm still trying to figure out where I actually want to be and call a home base, if that ever does happen. So yeah, this year alone, I lived in Amsterdam for a month. And a little bit of backstory on Amsterdam. I actually was planning on moving there for a year to pursue music, and because I was going with the flow of life, things did not work out with my visa, which is why I ended up in London, staying with a friend there. Lived in London for a couple months and I absolutely loved it. Lived in Bali for a month and some change for my yoga certification and also to learn how to surf, which was really cool. Ended back up in New England and then here I am. But prior to that, if you guys have been following me and know me, I lived in Portsmouth last year, Portsmouth, New Hampshire for an entire year. That was my first official solo apartment, and then prior to that I lived in New York, and I moved pretty sure almost every single year when I lived in New York, which was a total of 4 years. So safe to say, ever since I graduated college, I have been on the move, so that was like a total of 6 or 7 years, which is a lot of moving. But I feel like it's slowing down soon. I have a good feeling that I will be coming across where I'm meant to call home. Even though home is a feeling, in terms of a physical place, I have a feeling it's gonna reveal itself, or we'll find it. So we'll see. But that is why I move a lot. Are you a vegan? I get asked this a lot. This has nothing to do with the move, but I posted meat recently on my story, and a couple people commented on it and was asking if that was fake meat or real meat. I am not a vegan. I eat a lot of food that doesn't include meat, dairy, or gluten. As some of you may know, the dairy and gluten here in the States is significantly different than the dairy and gluten in Europe. And so if I eat either dairy or gluten in Europe, I don't get bloated, I don't feel tired, I don't get sick. Versus here in the States, I have to be very mindful and extra cautious when I'm reading labels. And when it comes to meat, I'm very mindful of the meat that I'm buying. And of course, organic meat is not cheap. However, I can taste the difference between grass-fed, organic, farm-raised meat versus processed and factory. And there's a lot of great documentaries. Michael Pollan especially is an expert on this. I love him, so great. So I highly recommend checking him out or watching some food documentaries. Of course, they're going to magnify, especially if you're watching meat documentaries, magnify the horrors behind meat. But it's always good to be informed and to make your own decisions afterwards. But you never really know what you're putting into your body, and so that's why I don't eat a lot of meat. I still do for protein, and of course, people will argue that there are other sources of protein, but for me, I can always get down with a good piece of steak, and so I don't let that limit me from eating, because I love to eat and I love to cook, and I moderate everything, essentially. What do you do for work? I also get this question a lot, and it has come up quite recently a lot. I am an event producer, experiential marketing specifically, so I do a lot of brand work. So any of those events where you see PR campaigns, pop-ups, those activations that you see at music festival, scenic installations, all that jazz, I do. I work on the production side of it, so building out, project managing, etc. And I've been trying to lean out of that industry, which is why I was able to travel so much this year and pursue other things such as music and health and wellness. The industry is great. I got into it originally because I wanted to produce my own music festival. I still think one day that could happen. I know one day it will happen, but I've been wanting to get out of it, or at least not have such a heavy foot in it because of the effect it's had on my health over the last couple of years. And in 2022, I had 3 health scares within one summer, and so that really was an eye-opening and a full pushback from me from the universe to really reevaluate like what it is I want to be doing with my life. And mind you, these health concerns have been going on since 2020, so I have a lot of Capricorn in me, which means I just push through and I'm super stubborn. Hence why I just kept going. But that is what I do for work. I used to love it. I still find it interesting now, but there are other things that I want to explore and pursue. And so with this line of work, I'm very grateful that I work on a seasonal basis. It pays me well enough where I can travel quite a bit. I can have a lot of off time. I have loved events because of the connection that comes with it. Whether you're meeting other people, other vendors, clients, teammates, etc. Like there's so much beauty in it, and there's a lot of creativity, which I really love. And yeah, I think it all really derived from when I started throwing parties in high school, which might be bad to say. High school was so long ago anyways, but I really was so engulfed by how many connections were coming out of these parties, because where I grew up there were 3 major public high schools and then my school, which was the private school. And because I knew bits of people from every single one, they would all come to my party, and somehow everyone started to know everyone, and I thought that was just so cool, you know. And then being type A, logistically wise, I just loved it. I loved planning how much to get, what time to invite people, how many people could the house, my backyard hold, and then from there, doing something illegal turned into something legal. Do your parents help you pay for your apartment and your lifestyle? Absolutely not. Honestly, I've seen how hard my parents work, and they helped me with college despite me not wanting to go to college. So the last thing I ever want to do is ask them for money. The most they ever do help me is when I need to load up my car, when I need to unload my car, and when I'm hungry. My mom is the best. She always makes really good food, and so that I can never say no to. Are you teaching Pilates? I am not yet. I have been training and taking courses and was in a mentorship that recently ended, but I absolutely love Pilates. I do it more for my own curiosity because I have sciatica, I have very bad back pain, lower back pain, and I just love the reformer. I think Pilates is great, and it is, I just want to say this, guys, I just want to put this out there. It is meant for everyone, not just for females. I've seen guys in there doing the damn thing, and it has done wonders for them. So guys, get into Pilates too. Are you single? Yes, I am. And I have been for a while, and to be quite honest, I am not really looking. I did the apps for a period of time. Oh, God. This is the longest I've been single and probably the happiest I've been too. I really enjoy my own peace and my own space and my own time, and I'm not looking, but if it comes, I'm not opposed. However, I have come to realize this is where it all goes downhill. However, I have come to realize I come with a lot, and I am a very ambitious person, and so I think it just needs to be a right fit, because I just see a lot more for myself, and I know that whoever I end up with needs to be at that same level too. Yeah, like we can be chill, but like let's climb that damn mountain.